Okay, so now that we're started, the first, so Lynn isn't here, and I asked Colleen to take uh, Mike Petrus' system off. I've got to off the agenda for tonight. I've got to go over some more stuff with him, but it's certainly it's not ready. The review is not even close to done.
I witnessed that deep hole with him a month ago, Dick, on
Yeah,
Truman Street.
and it's interesting when you look at where a system is proposed to be. It's not near one of the holes, and
Yeah,
and the hole that
when they dug those holes, actually he dug two holes. One of them was offset to the north of the existing leach field. The other was just into the edge of the existing leach field.
yeah, and then that means his drawing doesn't have them shown in the right place. He must have them shown where Ernie McCool did the holes. But
Okay.
anyway, that's what I have to talk to him about. But anyway, so the first item is the minutes, the November 14th minutes. I didn't have any changes to those minutes.
No, that's fine, Dick.
Okay, Colleen, we both are okay with that.
Okay.
The next is Colleen's time sheet for the 28th of December. It's a normal 70-hour time sheet. Are we okay with that?
Yeah, yes.
I am too, Colleen, so that's good.
Okay. Okay.
Money turnover totals $2,595 for this period. Of that, $1,020 is the Board of Health permits, $1,500 Board of Health licenses, $50 for Board of Health fees, and then $25 from the Select Board for common victualer's license. That totals the $2,595. Are you okay with that, Bill?
Yeah, I'm good.
I am too, Colleen, so that's approved.
Yeah.
Next one, I've got something that if we're not careful with on this one, I think we end up violating our rules. But what this is the bills payable. And Colleen's got $800 posted. And of that is $60 for the Mass Health Officers Association membership. And Bill, that's the one we voted to have you be the one that took the membership, to put your name on the membership.
Yeah, that's fine.
I got Fred Marion plumbing inspections of $560. I have a question. I'll come back to that. Fred Marion plumbing inspection mileage for $15.60. Lee Lalonde inspection mileage, $164.40. The two issues that I have is on this, and it looks like it happened before, is Lee also kind of buried someplace, but not under our approval, is Lee's inspection. And Lee's inspections total $2,765. And if we don't, Colleen, if we don't have that anyplace, then it doesn't go on record saying that the board approved that.
Oh, I have his, you mean on the agenda?
Yeah, I don't see it anyplace that.
So I
that
have Lee Lalonde inspections, and I put payroll because his inspections go through payroll and mileage. So there's the two things, the inspections and the mileage.
Yeah, mine on my list, it just says Lee Lalonde inspection mileage.
On the bills payable sheet, right?
Yeah.
On the bills payable, yeah, it doesn't go on bills payable.
Yeah, so
It goes under
other,
payroll. That's why on the agenda it says payroll, because it doesn't go over to town hall on the bills payable. It goes in with like the payroll, like my payroll, and his will go in the payroll
But
envelope.
how does it somehow, how does it trigger that in our meeting, in our note, in our reporting, somebody said, Lee's put in a bill for $2,765. Do we approve it?
So
And I
I have inspections and then I have that part goes in payroll. So I do have it as two things. His inspections that goes to payroll and mileage. I have that on the agenda. So I can put it in the minutes that,
Yeah, let's put it in a minute. Let's, are you okay, Bill, with paying Lee the
Yeah,
$2,765?
that's fine. You know,
And I am too.
I got a couple myself that I'll be sending in next time. There's no issue at the end of the year, right? It's a fiscal
No,
year
it's
issue.
not. It's not.
Okay, all
So
right. I'll take
Colleen,
my time.
what
That's
we've
fine.
done is we've approved it. So it goes in the minutes.
okay,
And when if it comes in, somehow if we can highlight that, so that if anybody ever comes back and says, gee, did the board actually do that? Did we say that? And now it's on our records right now. It's recorded.
yeah,
So we're okay.
oh,
The
okay,
next thing on this one is on Fred Marion. If you look at one of his inspections, the one that he went down to town hall, the town hall to do that
mm,
sewage smell, and then wrote
Yep.
the report,
yeah,
is he charged at $140, so 4 inspections, equivalent inspections. I have no problem with that, but we should be, since our payment is by the inspection, that's our fee with him, then we should be saying, Bill, that we agree with him that is for $35 inspection, so is $140 is an appropriate charge. We just have to say that. I'm okay with it. They did a lot of work there.
Well, that's the problem with having piecemeal inspection fees, because again, some of them you're there for 10 minutes, some of them you're for an hour and a half.
Right.
But you're arguing that it's going to average out in the long run. So
Yeah,
whatever you think's fair, that's fine.
Well, if all we have to do, you and I, Bill, have to say we agree that that's equivalent to 4 inspections. What he did, so 140 is correct. That's
Sure.
all. Okay. So both Bill and I agree, Colleen. So it goes in the minutes that. So Bill, now we go back to this. Are we approving this bills payable? I am.
Yeah. Yes, that's
Okay,
fine.
Colleen, so that's approved.
okay.
Next one,
Yeah.
let's see.
I think
what we
Lee's
can-
here now. Lee is here
Okay.
now.
Yep,
Hello.
I'm here.
Hi, Lee.
Okay.
Hello there.
Happy
Hi, Bill.
New Year.
Oh, thank you.
So the
Happy
next
New Year.
one, Happy New Year. I'll try to group these. I've got Pizza Palace, the new Pizza Palace, Imore Inc. doing business at Pizza Palace. That is a food establishment. Got Pioneer Valley Chapter 8 food establishment. Of course, these are all for this year. Then we've got First Presbyterian Church food license. Next is there are 2 groups of 2 here. This is Chartwell Food Service at Granby Junior Senior High School for food established and then milk and cream. Then the next one is Chartwell Food Service for East Meadow. It's a food establishment and food and cream. Next one is Granby Pharmacy doing business as Center. You know what? I'm going to pull that one out, Lee, so you can vote. You're probably going to abstain from that one.
That's correct.
The next one will be CVS Pharmacy for retail food and milk and cream. The next one is Dollar General, is retail food and milk and cream. The next one is,
Well, Dick, I thought we were gonna consider holding that one up because of the lack of progress on their drainage problem.
this one. Okay, I'm gonna pull that one aside. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is not,
I would recommend not giving them a full year. We'll give them a part of a year.
right,
And
okay.
have
So
them
we'll just,
revisit.
that one is not part of this group we're gonna approve.
Okay,
The next one is Hari Granby, doing business as Union Mart. This is retail food and milk and cream. The next one is Bread Fire Farm, retail food and milk and cream. And that's it for that group. Do we approve this whole group? Again, that is taken out of that group was Dollar General, and Granby Pharmacy is not part of that group.
yeah, I
So we
second
approve-
that. I second that.
Lee, are you okay
Sure.
with this? Okay, I am too, Colleen. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
those are all approved.
Okay,
The next one will be just for Lee, I mean, for Bill and me. This is gonna be Granby Pharmacy doing business as Center Pharmacy, licensed to sell retail foods. Are you okay with that, Bill?
Yeah, that's good.
I am. Lee, did you abstain from that, Lee?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Okay, so Lee did not discuss or vote on that one, Colleen.
okay,
Now going back to Dollar General, and that's retail food and milk and cream. I agree, Bill, that they're, they were all full of vim and vigor and coming back, and they were gonna get something done before the first of the year, and we can't even get them to talk to us again.
I recommend we give them 3 months. Give them 3 months.
Lee, what is your thinking?
Yeah, I would support that. To try,
Colleen, I would
light
too.
light the fire.
I
okay,
would too. So why
okay,
don't we? So that means we approve them, so January, February, March, so we approve them to the 31st of March.
Now the
Okay.
thing is, then they're not gonna, corporate office will not even know that we did this. So Colleen should send a memo to the corporate office, say, by the way, you did not get your normal 1-year approval. You got a conditional 90-day approval because of the outstanding issues pending the drainage, right, Dick?
Yes, and in fact, Colleen, I'm going to, tomorrow, let's see if I can find I can give you the email address of the attorney, and we should send it also to Tyler Avery.
Right.
oh, I think I have that, yep, on
Okay,
file
I
somewhere.
forget what the attorney's name is, but
Yeah,
if
I,
you have both
I think
of
so,
those, let's make sure they know.
yeah. Yeah, I'll send it to all of them, yeah,
So, okay, so we voted that it would be to the 31st of March.
Yeah.
The next one that we have is going to be, I don't know if I can probably group these as well. These are gonna be for disposal works and dollars permits for this whole year. They're renewals. First is Marion Excavating. The next is Sonamo Construction. Next is Keith Bradway. That one is KWB Construction. The next is Tom Pollock Water Contracting. The next is IMT Landscaping and Construction. Next is Everson Construction, Greg Everson. I think there's one more. I think the last one is Don Cole and Son Excavating. Yeah, that's the last of those renewals for installers permits. Are we okay with all of those?
Yes.
Yes.
And I am too, Colleen, so those are all approved.
Okay,
The next, I think we have two applications for septic haulers. One is Fletcher Sewer and Drain, that's Don Marinello. And the other is Gregory Everson. And that's just the two of those. Are we okay with both of those renewals?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good.
I am too, Colleen, so that's approved.
okay,
Next, we have two hair salon licenses. First is Olivia's Hair Studio, and the second is Five Corners Cut. Are we okay with those two?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I am too, Colleen, so those are approved.
okay.
Next one is a permit to operate a mobile food service, and it's the Mad Eats Don Classic of Carver Street. When I read this, I see no base of operation on this food truck. Do we know anything about this?
Yeah, let me look. What's the name of it? Mad Eats?
Oh, yeah,
Mad
he's
Eats.
just starting up.
Yeah, let me look at it.
I don't know if he does have a base of operations, to be honest with you.
Oh, 107R plant. Yeah, okay, yeah. I know that fellow. He had a conservation issue a couple of years ago. I know that fellow. Okay. So again, he must have his equipment in his backyard, Dick.
Yeah, but we don't allow anybody without a base of operation that's an approved food
Right,
service.
right. So we're gonna have to bring him in and interview him.
Yeah, and ask him, Colleen will have to, and before he comes in, he's gotta have the base of operation. Coming in and talk to us and say, no, I don't have one, this isn't gonna help.
Oh, I see. It says person responsible for daily operations, Stephanie Caputo,
Yeah,
somewhere in Agawam.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
wondering if it's her, but I don't know. I'll have to. So I'll have to check with him and see if he's
Yeah.
got someone.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's her or not. I don't know if that's a restaurant or what that is, but
So that one, we did not approve that.
right. Base of operations.
So the next that we have is and it looks like several of these have gone about giving us as-built. I don't know, I think one of these may be Bobby Sheehan. Yeah, maybe the first one I've got. Yes, the first one, and they've done the same. I think they've done the same thing. They're saying instead of giving you a whole new set of drawings, I think the three of them are saying the same thing, is that they've given ties to components. However, they're saying, look at the system went in exactly to the drawing, so the as-built is the drawing, the construction drawing. And I think that, let's look at the first one. I won't group these. We've got 591 Amherst Road.
Yeah.
That was for a complete system. That's one that Bob Sheehan had submitted, and we said, gee, that it doesn't give, an elevation certification. And Bob is saying, yes, it was put in absolutely exactly to the drawing. He says, here are your ties for the horizontal, and the vertical is the drawing. And I guess from my standpoint, if that's what it is, that's what it is.
Well, that's what it implies. That's the way I'm reading it, Dick. It's funny though, it says measurements and they got accuracy on the measurements down to the inch, which is fine. And then at the bottom, it says no scale, and it says all measurements are approximate. So the question is, approximate must mean a 1-inch resolution. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's not 1 1/8 of an inch, or it's not 1 3/8. It's 1 inch. Okay,
that's right.
whatever.
So are we okay with that one?
Yeah, that's fine.
Lee, are you okay
Yes.
with it? I am too,
Yes,
Colleen,
thank
so
you.
that's approved.
Okay.
The next one is Lot 4 East Street, Samborski Residence. This is Alan White. And it looks like Alan's done the same thing. As he says, it is what I told them to do. They did exactly. Here's my drawing, and here's how it was, and here are the ties. Like, I guess if it was good for the last one, it must be good for this one too.
I guess so. It looks like we're not enforcing the vertical as-built. But whatever, it is what it is.
Lee, you looked at this? Are you okay with it?
Yeah, everything, physically was, or appeared to be in place. But Bill, going back to your comment about the vertical, if a 12 years from now, a brand new Title V person shows up in town and starts looking at some of these houses that probably will be changing hands, how much more work will it be or not be to chase these components down without all these measurements?
Well, they have the measurements are here.
Oh yeah, the horizontals are good. The horizontals are good. Again, they might be in the water table, but that's the way it is. That's okay.
The other thing that happens is that we're not catching is that you end up with the finished grade, even though these engineers are saying, oh, they're to the finished grade. My guess is they don't go back out and look at the finished grades, and you find out that these things are either don't have any cover on them, or they're 10 feet under the ground and we don't find out, or they're blocking a swale and we're causing a flood someplace. But
Well, and excuse me, and going on that same topic, they could easily do just that and ignore the code when it comes to risers.
right. So
I
I don't
thought
know. I don't know how you do the best. I guess the best we can do is at least in our file, saying an engineer with a stamp or a sanitarian with a stamp, somebody that's got a stamp and a license, is saying this is what it is, and if it's not that way, then at least they're on the hook. They're saying, hey, I looked at it and I certify that's what it is. I've got a license to do it. And if it's not and something goes wrong, then they're the ones that end up in court over it.
Well,
But otherwise,
listen, Dick.
what are you going to do? You're going to go out with a scope and we're going to shoot them ourselves?
Actually, it's funny. There's a town up in Franklin County where they actually require the engineer / sanitarian to go out with the Board of Health, with the transit, and the Board of Health witnesses the fellow shooting the grades of the as-built.
Well,
It's a community up in Franklin County. It's only 1 or 2 communities. It's not all. That's a bit extraordinary, but that's what they've decided needs to happen up there.
so that one's approved. Then our final one is 362 East State Street. That is the Union Mart, it looks like.
Mhm.
And it's the same thing. We've got the ties and we've got Alan saying it went in just the way it said. Of course, that one probably did go in that way because it's so flat. You can see what it is. Are we okay with this one?
Bill, I'm on a meeting right now.
Yeah, I'm all right with it.
Are you okay with it too?
Yeah, that's good, Dick.
I am too, Colleen. The
Okay,
next one is a Title V inspection report. It's from, it's at 195 Bachelor Street. Greg Everson did it, and it failed. Do we accept that?
Yes.
Lee, it looked to me like it had a metal leach pit that, and the whole, everything was flooded, a bad tank that was rotted away and small, and it was no good. It looks like the whole system really wasn't any good.
That's what I observed at the time. Yes, that's correct.
So are we okay with that, Bill?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Let me just take a quick peek here. Boy, there's so many pages on these inspection forms now.
I know.
It's crazy. Okay. Right, so they did a water test. Oh, wow. Lee, that tank, how many feet below grade was that tank?
The metal tank?
Well, the tank there's a photograph at the back of the report. And it shows its tank outlet.
Probably, I'm guessing 5, 6 feet.
Yeah, it looks like it's way, way down there. Wow.
Yeah, so it's in the water besides that.
Probably. Yeah, they called the water table at 82 inches.
Components were no good and it's too close to the water, so
Well,
it really is no
it
good.
says it's a concrete tank.
Oh, that's the septic tank, but the leach tank is not. The leach tank is metal
Oh, there's a leach pit. Okay.
and it's rotted away.
Oh.
So are we accepting that it failed?
Yeah. I'm just looking at this. It says SAS, leach pit was partially collapsed, structurally unsound. And then, they didn't even, oh, I see. It says one leach pit, number unknown. Oh,
And
okay.
he says that it's possibly the system was put in and possibly in 59.
I got you. A metal overflow leach pit. It could have been an old oil tank or something. Okay,
It
that's
could have
fine, Dick. That's fine.
Okay.
No worries.
You're okay with this fail too?
Yes, for sure. It's no good at this point in time.
Okay. Colleen, so we accept that one that it failed.
okay.
On discussion items, we've got maybe an easy one. Colleen went after Russo's on their water problem and Russo's Liquor, and she found out that their well problem was just a short little problem, and they've got water without any problem now. And in fact, shortly after their failure, they were back in water and they've been fine. Are we okay with that and just issue the 2 licenses that we held up for food and for milk and for the year?
Did they do a quality test after they got their water system back online?
I don't know that.
Maybe that might be prudent at this point.
And the other question, hopefully it's an easy answer. Did they pull a permit to work on it?
They didn't replace a well. I think they had something fixed with their well. They had a well guy come in and fix something.
Lee, I don't know whether it's true or not, but the well guy that worked on my well said that he doesn't need a permit. The state doesn't require a permit. If he's working on a well that's there and he doesn't put a new well in, and he just replaces the pump, or in my case, dig it deeper and put a new pump in, he said that
Yeah.
all fits into stuff that he can do without a permit. That it's not a new well. And it's in the world of where he can work. It's not plumbing, and that his license covers that work.
Okay, I
Who-
was.
who did yours,
I was
Dick?
not sure.
Um, oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. It's
Well,
Henshaw,
yeah, some, because I know,
Henshaw.
Henshaw, I
oh,
think.
Henshaw,
Henshaw.
okay, yeah, because I know Dennis Conti, of course, has been out of the business for quite some time now.
Well, he's
Okay.
dead.
Oh, he died?
Yeah, he's dead. And that Henshaw was so good to work with that I certainly would, if it came time, if someone asked me who you should work with, boy, that very, very professional, not necessarily the newest equipment, but boy, people that really know what they're doing, and a lot of family members doing it.
No, are they from New Hampshire?
No, they're from Chesterfield, I think.
Okay, okay, good to know,
But boy, they were really great to work with.
good.
So you want Russo's to provide the board with a water test?
Yeah.
Okay,
Do you agree with that, Lee? I support Bill's stand on that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because we had a failed well.
Sure.
In fact,
Yeah, we don't know
you
that.
know what would, from my standpoint, Bill and Lee, as long as you're saying just a water test, wouldn't it be reasonable to ask him, because he didn't have any water, for him to give us a report from the guy who fixed it to say, here's what I found?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Initially, it sounded like a gigantic deal. Now it's been fixed fairly simplistically by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they should be able to provide that.
So that's what we'll do. The next thing I have is 12 Ken Lane, where my proposal is normally in a case like this, I would call up Colleen. We also have one that's not here. I think it's Mildred Gibbs, and we ought to at least talk about it. But in 12 Ken Lane, it appears from what I'm reading that the owner is saying, "Tough, I'm not going to do anything. I'm moving in, even though you guys have said don't move in without a water test." I'm not a water test, a septic system evaluation, a Title V. And it looks like she's just saying, too bad. I'm going to do it. I think the complaint was an unjustified complaint, and I'm going to do what I want. And my feeling would be that the board ought to say, we ordered that. It was because the data says that your system was very likely underwater. And we know what all the systems around there are all too close to the water table and don't function properly. So, and we could see the flooded backyard. And he's saying, too bad. I'm going to do what I want.
Well,
And
Dick, I think we're gonna get to meet the new town manager over this one, because how much money does the town want to spend in attorney's fees on this one? That's the question.
well, my feeling would be, if you allow this thing to go and just say, okay, people, Board of Health is going to tell you to do something, then you don't want to do it, then just don't do it. And the Board of Health will say, fine, that
But Dick, Barton Street's doing the same thing to us.
we need to do something about Barton Street.
So we have two of these we have to address.
We actually have a third. We have the one that's up. There's two on Barton Street. You've got the one that's at the corner of Barton Street and east on Pleasant Street. We've got that one. We've got the one that's back over towards Ferry Hill, and then you've got the guy that's out at the end of South Street. But my feeling is if we're just going to say
Is
too
Brian,
bad, we don't even care about Title V.
is O'Toole still working for us, or are we working with the new firm?
As far as I know, it's O'Toole.
O'Toole's still working for us? Okay. I was under the impression that he was out as town attorney, but
I
okay.
didn't know that.
Well, I heard rumors to that effect. Apparently they're not true. Then if he's
Well, I don't know that.
yeah.
I tried to call Chris Martin, and I haven't been successful about Mildred Gritton. My feeling on this one is we ought to, if you want, I can talk to the owner and say the board has done, in the last 50 years, we haven't been to court. We really haven't been to court very much because we could talk people through and say, explain it and say, the town's gonna have to spend money, but you're gonna have to spend money on a lawyer. You're not gonna fix the system. And when it's all done, the town's gonna win and you're gonna have paid the lawyer. The town will pay the lawyer too, but you'll personally do it and you're gonna have to fix the system. So why don't you work with us and avoid all of this stuff? But I didn't make that call.
Well, I thought Ken Lane was looking for grant money to fix their system.
Not to fix the system. What they were doing is they got money. Chris authorized money to get that pipe.
Oh, okay. All right. See, I thought the money was for a grant to fix the leach field. Okay.
Not the leach field.
All right.
But in this particular case, we could offer her and say, if you fit the financial need, you could end up with a really zero cost, or not zero, but really low price loan. And if you need it, but the first thing you do is you need to do the test. And to try to appeal to the woman to say, let's not bring you to court. We don't want to go to court, and don't force us to go to court. But it takes it, and I don't care if it's me that does it, Lee. If you want to do it, Bill, you can do it, and see if you can, talk to her and say we don't want to go to court, but you'll lose if we do. So what do we want to do as a board?
Wasn't there an indication last summer from that property owner on this topic that was an agreement, probably just verbal, if it was at all, to go forward during the end of the construction, which I think is what we're at right now, about, and is in fact not in the water table.
It was. She agreed. And then I think she hired Alan White. Bill, it was either you or Lee that talked to Alan, I think. Somebody talked to Alan.
Right. My recollection is Alan was ready to do it, and then a cancellation occurred at the last moment, and that was the end of it.
Right.
That's what I recollect. I could be wrong, but that's what I recollect.
Want me to make the phone call and see if I can talk to her and
Yes.
then report back to you guys?
Yes, please. Please do, Dick.
Okay. Okay, I will
Yeah.
do that. I'll do that. The next one is Mildred Gibbs. And do you guys want me to talk to Chris Martin? From what I'm gathering from you, Colleen, from your notes, that I think the owner is a widow who's, I think Colleen said is 94 years old.
Mhm.
I've talked to her when I went to Lee did the perk test, the design got done, and then when I saw the design, I said, I think this thing's a rock. I don't think that where Neil was putting the system was the hole was indicative of where the system was going. It was in the system, but I said this spot is not indicative of what's under the whole leach field. And I went back in with Neil, and sure enough, the rock was at 18 inches. And so Neil moved the system, he redesigned it, and but I talked to the woman, the owner, went inside and talked to her, and she had a couple there with her that were assisting her, but I believe I know the couple, and the man that was there was older than me. He was a few years older than me in school, so her helper was a pretty old person. And I think Colleen said that this woman is 94. So, but I have no idea whether she has funds or not. But do you want me to? Apparently, she called Chris Martin, and Chris Martin said he has to hear from the Board of Health to see if the Board of Health is willing to entertain using those funds to get her the low interest loan. Do you want me to talk to Chris and see if we can move this ahead?
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
What are you
Yes,
thinking,
yes.
Lee? Okay, then I'll do
Yeah,
that one also.
All right, thank you.
When I looked at the situation on the surface, it looked to me like there wasn't a lot of money involved. But that can be very deceiving. Okay, so I will do that. Our next item is that Colleen put on for us is regulations. And what happens to us every time is we are all, just like tonight, although tonight's early, we get to the point that said, you know what, this doesn't seem like a fun thing to do at this time of the night. Let's do it another time. And when Colleen and I talked about it, we said, if we're really going to do this, maybe we should either, set some time at a meeting to do this, or just choose. Let's say we together, the three of us, say the only agenda item is going to be these regulations. We'll have a special meeting for 1 hour to go through the regulations, and as Bill just pointed out before you came in, Lee, is to take these regulations and read them out loud, and look at the ones that are no good and throw them out, and change the words that they make sense, so if our whatever our ideas change, or they just aren't written properly. But it seems to me that a special session when we're not tired is a better way to do it. But I don't know, what do you guys think?
I would agree that we need to take maybe, a strict half hour, 7 to 7:30 right off the bat. And at least for probably at least 2 meetings to focus only on that and then jump into the regular work.
You'd rather
Because
do
as
it
we
that
know
way
from-
and then push our meeting later, or would you rather just say, let's not do it that way? Let's take an off week and, or another, yeah, let's say an in-between week and schedule an hour that we could be.
That's a good, yeah, that's a good idea too. Either way you guys want to go, I'm on board with it.
Or what are you thinking?
What's the two options again, Dick?
The two, well, there are actually 3 options. One is you start working on it tonight, but the 3 general options would be continue to do like we're doing and say, we'll put it at the last thing we're going to discuss, and then try not to all get tired and stop. The next option is think we're going to do it and over a couple meetings and do it from like 7 to 7:30 and then go into our regular meeting. And then the third option is just choose another meeting day, either, and we can do it anytime we want, but to say we're not going to have anything on the agenda other than this. We'll meet for 1 hour and go through every one of the things, and we'll do nothing other than that, and then be done with it.
Why don't we do the 7 to 7:30? That way we won't get burnt out and we can do it a half hour at a time. That would be fine. Even if it takes 3 or 4 meetings to get it completed, that's fine. I think that's a
You'd
good
rather
idea.
it that way.
Yeah, because otherwise, if we just do a marathon session, that's going to be very arduous. Yep.
And that's what you had suggested too, Lee. So I can support that. So you want to do it, Colleen, at the next meeting? Then we'll just do the next 2 meetings from 7 to 7:30. We won't do anything other than this. We'll start, but it means, Lee, you have to be here at 7.
Yep.
Okay, then that's
Yep.
what we'll do.
Okay.
I mean, if the agenda
Mike, I
gets
see
too large,
you.
we could
What?
start at 1/4 up something.
You want to start at 1/4 of and do it from 1/4 of until 1/4
Well-
after?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a monster agenda coming up for whatever reason with a lot of systems or problems or something, you want to jump in a bit early. I'll just stay at work and just go right from there at the back desk at work and do it that way, and save me the travel time, and I'll be right on with it. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm fine with it.
Can you start at 7:15?
Yeah.
Let's make sure that if the next meeting is what day, Colleen? We got to make sure that
28th.
it's, so you'll be here still?
Yeah, I'll be here the
Okay,
28th.
then I'll start that meeting at 7:15. I'll post that one.
Okay.
Okay. What other, I've got Mike Peter is there. What else?
Good
do
evening.
Mike, we took you off the agenda for tonight, because the design review isn't completed.
Okay. Is there anything that I could help with the design review? Because I'd be happy to meet with any of you just to, go through any changes so we can expedite this for Mr. Joao, or try to.
Typically, you and I can do it. We do it off of this meeting, and usually if just the 2 of us go through it, and we talk to each other,
Mhm.
we usually bang them right through.
Sure. Yeah, I'd be open to any of that. and I apologize for my cold if you guys can't hear me correctly, but just let me know when and where, and I'll make sure we can do it. So I had assumed that we're moved to the 28th meeting.
Yeah, and,
Okay.
and, what'll happen, do I have your number, what I can do, Mike, is I can text you or I'll email you. I have your email address. I don't think I have your phone number.
I can give you my cell or my business line, whichever you prefer.
So why don't you give me your cell number and then we'll get together.
Okay, it's 413
Yeah?
364 7433.
413-364-7433.
Yes.
Okay. I'll get to you and we'll go right through the whole thing.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Have a good
Okay.
night.
Have a good night,
Hope you
guys.
feel better. The good thing about this format is you didn't give us the cold tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. And when we talk, if you guys need help with in order for your complaints that you're having of people not acting, I have I have many draft orders that I did for Ludlow that I can share with you guys that set up
Okay.
finding mechanisms and all sorts without the attorneys. So,
Good.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome.
you very much. Have a
Okay.
good night.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
So what do we have? Colleen, what do you have left for us?
I think that was it.
Okay. As I told you, in terms of what's happening to me with my knee, I'm guessing I'll get a surprise and find out when I actually get it done. Well, here we've gone through this whole rigmarole to put the meetings all screwed up the way we have them now, and then I don't have my surgery. So at least at this point, if the worst comes to worst, it's the 6th. So I think we won't be in trouble. That puts us right in the middle of the next cycle. So I should be okay for that next meeting, and who knows if they get me early and I get an unscheduled spot to do it, we'll just do it when we do it. So
Okay.
other than that, if I did go, I don't know, Bill or Lee, have you gone down to Ken Lane? We haven't had much cold, so I don't know if anything froze. But the last time I went down there was after a whole bunch of the rain, and there was no water on the road.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go down there tomorrow morning and just take a look while I'm traveling about. Should be interesting to see what's going on down there.
It will be, because you'll be in a spot where I think the water table, if I can judge it by driving down New Ludlow Road and looking at the entrance to the old landfill, and you look at where the kids play hockey on that little spot, that spot was really, really dry. And it's now up to what appears to be its normal wintertime level. So I'm guessing you're going to see some water, and that guy's with us. You must have fixed him up. I'm still.
Well, he got his E-tube out yesterday over at Tufts. So now I got to reacclimate Muffy to eating regular food.
Oh,
The problem is it was easy to give her medications through the esophagus tube, but now it's going to be a little more challenging, but she's doing pretty well. I can't complain.
well, that's good.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just as a point of reference, I just read that it looks like they're recommending that old people get COVID vaccinated again, get a booster in the spring, in the early spring, depending on when you got if you got your last one. But we got ours in mid-October. And so they're saying I think it's got to be beyond 3 months, but they're saying that. We'll see some stuff happening. I'm sure that I'm hearing stuff that Kennedy may try to stop you from anybody from buying vaccinations.
Really? You know, the other thing, Dick, isn't there a Novo or rotavirus out there?
There is that's
Yeah.
supposedly really
Yeah,
really
my
contagious with stomach stuff.
yeah, my daughter had it. It was pretty nasty. She's over it now, but it was pretty
Yeah.
severe.
Yeah,
She picked it up in the hospital working.
yeah, it's the one that goes through the cruise ships like crazy.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
Oh, yes.
Very,
Mm.
very contagious, and I guess it's 12 hours to 4 days or something.
Yep. Yep.
Really, really sick.
Yep.
So anyway, public health world may get to be a pretty nasty place in the next 4 years.
Well, I don't know if you read the Gazette this morning, but Trump might be going after Healy on this immigration situation.
I saw that on the
Front page of the paper. Pretty
Yeah.
nasty. It was a nasty article.
yeah. So we're gonna see what we're up against, but it is one of the things that's interesting is there's two things that are really interesting from a public health standpoint. One is alcohol, and I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to it, but it looks like they're even the Surgeon General wants to put warnings on alcohol
Oh, I saw that.
containers and
Mm.
Yeah,
And
that's Vivek, the Surgeon General. I was pretty surprised, but I read the article, and well, it essentially said mixed drinks are the worst. Sugary mixed drinks are the worst. It said light beers are probably okay. It was kind of a wishy-washy article. It wasn't a verboten prohibition, but again, it did not say there were any beneficial health effects, which is contrary to popular belief.
I know. In fact, the thing that I read tonight, whether it's true or not, but they said that alcohol is the third highest cause of cancer. I think I didn't see. I started reading, I missed it, but cigarettes I think were number one, and I don't know what number two was. Number three was alcohol. So
I guess the cannabis business is going to flourish.
yeah, yeah. So you've got that, and then the other one that I think got shaky data, but I don't know that Lee was involved with it. So you and I were, but I can't remember who the third was on fluoride.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was JM, me, you, JM, and Lee, and that was back in the late 90s. Oh yeah, Lee was on board then. Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it is that you have to read it with some knowledge about what they're talking about. But the very thing that we talked about is that in communities that are educated communities, you end up with the kids getting too much fluoridation. That if you do fluoride in the water, and they've got kids that are going to their pediatricians that are getting fluoride pills, and then you've got, because there's so many other communities that have fluoridated water, that it's not just the water that the kids drink in their home, that the soda is made with fluoride, so they're getting like And what our conclusion was is that the difference between the ideal quantity of fluoride and the over medicated is too small. And that if you're in a community that's already an enlightened community, you're going to end up with those kids not getting the benefit of the fluoridation. And so versus the inner city, who the kids don't necessarily get good medical treatment, don't end up getting too much. So in our case, if you recall, we went through and in fact, Bill, you were not all the way on board.
I was what they call a dissenting vote, Dick.
You were.
I was the dissenting vote because I remember Frank Nealon. He's probably been dead for 30 years, I'm guessing.
Not that long, but he's certainly dead.
But he was a big proponent of fluoridation in South Hadley for years.
Absolutely.
And my mother growing up in the Midwest, her community water system was fluoridated. And she probably had a total of about 3 cavities her entire life.
Yeah.
Wow.
It turns out that was one of the few times that in our board that we really couldn't come to a consensus. We worked and we remember we had JM going down to Boston.
That's right. I remember that. Yep. JM Sorrell took a trip to Harvard Library, I remember.
Yeah, and looked through all this documentation but unfortunately when you look at the data they're throwing around right now, they're flawed studies. Remember all the stuff that we were dealing with, the people, so many people saying, oh, this is this story, this, and trying to get really hard data was really, really difficult.
Now here's another problem. Zuckerberg yielded to Trump today. They're getting rid of fact checker on Facebook.
Oh, I know it.
So
I know.
So there's going to be all kinds of stuff out there now.
Yeah.
And Zuckerberg says, let the community do their own vetting of the truth. I said, well, that's going to be great.
Yeah, that's right. You can see people are lining up.
Oh, yes. Well, they know which side of the bread their bread is buttered on, that's for sure.
Yeah, and to be trying to start dealing with facts and it's going to be tough, and it's going to be, unfortunately, I think that with Kennedy, if he ends up in there, that public health is going to be in terrible crisis.
He may not get approved, Dick.
Yeah,
he may not.
But when you start seeing, I don't know how fast it's going to come, but when you start seeing measles epidemics and polio coming back, and people from this country not being welcome into other countries because they're bringing diseases, that having dead kids around isn't. I think there are going to be a lot of parents that say, maybe this isn't such a good idea to listen to a quack and our kids being dying. So anyway,
I think you're going to see a lot more homeschooling going forward.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah. So anyway, with that, I guess we can maybe not go to bed yet, but at least we can say goodnight to each other, huh?
Okay. Hey, Happy New Year all, and we'll see you
too.
in a couple of weeks. Okay.
Okay.
Good night,
you.
folks.
Good.
Good
Good night.
Thank you very much.
Night. Bye.
Bye-bye.